Good evening and welcome to the New Skills in the Modern Workplace webinar. My name is Danica Saunders. I am the event coordinator for SACAP and I will be your host this evening. We are extremely excited to have our speakers Carl and Adele with us tonight. Adele, holding a BCom honors in business management, financial management, and a master's in psychology from the University of South Africa. With over a decade of leadership experience in private higher education, Adele is recognized for her strategic planning, curriculum design, and program implementation expertise. Since 2012, she has actively contributed to the design, management, and teaching of higher certificate programs, witnessing their profound impact on students' self-confidence, career development, and success and access to further studies in higher education. Carl is the head of learning innovation at SACAP. He loves creating meaningful learning experiences through technology and creative methodologies and integrating the latest advancements in generative AI and human-computer interaction. Carl is committed to pushing the boundaries of traditional education, advocating the use of AI to simulate real-world scenarios and immersive experiences. Without any further ado, I will now hand over to Carl.
Good evening to everyone on the webinar. This evening, I'm going to briefly explore some of the key skills that I think are required for a changing workplace. And we know that we are living in a world where the workplace is changing and there is a strong evolution in the world, in the workplace. And I think in many ways, this evolution is being driven by technological advancements, as well as in recent times, the uptake and the integration of artificial intelligence in many of our systems and programs that we use. Now, these advancements in technology and AI, they really do necessitate quite a shift in the skills that employees need in order to thrive in the workplace, because the impact of technology is very multifaceted. And it is influencing a number of job roles. It's influencing our skill sets, and it is demanding that we remain continuous learners, that we continue to be upskilled, and that we embrace lifelong learning. So this evening, I'm just going to briefly explore some of these key skills that I believe are required within this changing workplace, as well as the significance of continuous learning and upskilling. Now, the first set of skills that I want to look at is adaptability and resilience. And these are not necessarily in any order of importance, but adaptability and resilience are very, very key skills in the workplace, because our job places, our job roles in the workplace is evolving, technology is evolving, and we need to be able to adapt and move alongside these changes and these advancements. So this is really, really paramount to our being able to be successful, and not only be successful, but thrive in the workplace. So employees must be open to learning new things. We need to be embracing learning new skills. We need to be stepping out of our comfort zones on a continuous basis. And as employees, we also need to be embracing change with a very positive attitude, because it is this that is going to be crucial for us thriving in a future workplace. The second is technological literacy, or in some cases, people refer to these as digital literacy. And AI in particular has started to automate a number of job functions. So this role of, or the skill of technology or technological literacy is becoming important. So it is really beneficial for most people in the workplace to at least have some basic understanding of AI and its different applications within one's chosen field. And by doing this, it really does give you a very, very competitive edge within the job market. as well as a competitive advantage in order to innovate within your spaces. We can see now the advancements of AI being able to complete a lot of technical tasks, the ability to automate a lot of things. So in this context, those less tangible skills are what people often call soft skills, things like empathy, emotional intelligence, sociability, leadership, creativity, mental flexibility, our analytical and critical thinking, our personal efficiency, as well as teamwork. These are becoming more and more valuable skills to develop, if not essential in a world where we are able to automate so many other tasks. So having these soft skills really enables you to complement the rise of technologies that are performing tasks, so that you as the human being can really just rely and really focus in on your interpersonal interactions with people in the workplace. Then there's the skill of continuous learning and upskilling. So the demand for skills is constantly shifting, and it is shifting towards a lot more higher cognitive skills, social skills, those emotional or soft skills, as well as these technological skills. So this really requires us as employees to be consistently deepening our knowledge and our skill sets, and always looking for ways to acquire new skills, and to really embrace the concept of being a lifelong learner. Now, AI itself as well is impacting on our training and our upskilling itself. So, you know, we must also not be we must not only be upskilling, we also need to be reskilling ourselves to adapt to new job roles that we find ourselves with. You know, new job roles are popping up due to the role of these technological advancements. So this really does involve processes of learning and making an investment into ourselves, or as business owners, investing in your employees as well as your own personal development. Then, you know, the workplace and companies can really leverage AI for upskilling. It can itself be a tool to help us to upskill and reskill and learn things. AI-powered chatbots, for example, learning platforms that are able to really personalize learning experiences for people. And this really does make it easier for employees to acquire new skills that are relevant to their job roles. And then lastly is the role of employers. And employers do play a very critical role in addressing the skills gaps that we see in the marketplace by really investing in their employees and providing training opportunities for them to not only reskill, but also to upskill. So investing in training, it really boosts employee morale. It really plays a huge part in retention of staff and as well as your overall business success. So just in conclusion, the changes that we are seeing and experiencing in the workplace that are driven by things like AI and technological advancements really necessitate us to, as skills or employees, to have the skills in the workplace of adaptability, of resilience, of technological literacy, to really develop those soft skills, as well as to embrace continuous learning. So training and upskilling initiatives are essential. They are becoming really, really essential for preparing a workforce that really meets the demands of this landscape, with employers that are needing to play a pivotal role in facilitating these opportunities. So with that said, I am going to hand over to Adéle, who's going to take us through some initiatives, some training and upskilling initiatives.
Thank you, Carl. So the second part of the webinar, we are going to look at the power of higher certificates in personal and professional development. So in the diverse landscape of higher education, which is reflected on the slide, students are presented with many choices, from higher certificates and diplomas to bachelor degrees. And as you can see, the higher certificate falls in just under the diploma and advanced certificate, followed then by your normal bachelor's degree that we all know. That can be a bachelor's of art or bachelor's of commerce. And the highest certificate is sitting on an NQF level 5. So it's just between your grade 12 and then your actual degree programs. So this vocational qualification of a higher certificate is a valuable bridge between high school and more advanced degrees or immediate entry into the workforce. In this session, we're going to delve into the definition, the purpose, the benefits, and the pivotal role higher certificates play in boosting students' self-confidence. We also explore the higher certificates offered by SACAP in more detail. So let's first look at understanding higher certificates. Higher certificates stand out as a focused and structured pathway in education, primarily focusing on providing a skills-based qualification that hones in on specific abilities. These programs are distinctly vocational, emphasizing the practical skills and theoretical knowledge necessary for immediate entry into the workforce. Acting as a bridge to more advanced bachelor programs, higher certificates equip students with fundamental practical skills and offer a springboard for deeper insight into their chosen field of study. This dual emphasis on both skills development and theoretical understanding ensures that graduates are not only ready for entry-level positions, but also well prepared for further academic pursuits, making higher certificates a versatile and strategic choice for individuals seeking a well-rounded educational foundation. So what are the benefits of higher certificates? Embarking on higher certificate programs brings a multitude of benefits. One significant advantage lies in the focused nature of these programs. Unlike expensive degrees that may take several years to complete, higher certificates typically span 1 year, allowing students to quickly gain practical knowledge and relevant skills specific to their chosen field. Further to this, higher certificates provide tangible qualifications recognized by employers across various industries. These programs offer specialized training, equipping students with competencies sought after in today's competitive job market. The industry relevance of the curriculum ensures that graduates are well prepared for the demands of their chosen field. The economic benefits are also evident, as completing a higher certificate program can enhance earning potential. Employers value industry-recognized qualifications, making graduates more desirable and eligible for well-paying positions. Finally, the confidence gained through successful completion of the program can translate into improved performance in the workplace and the desire to pursue a degree program. Now let's look beyond the qualifications. Let's look at your personal and professional growth. Beyond the practical skills and industry-specific knowledge gained, higher certificates are crucial in enhancing student self-confidence. They lead to acquiring new knowledge and skills, boosting self-confidence as individuals become more competent in their chosen area. Further study involves challenges contributing to personal growth. Overcoming academic hurdles builds resilience and self-assurance. Higher certificates enhance self-efficacy by demonstrating that through effort and persistence, academic success in higher education is achievable. Education institutions provide network opportunities, creating a support system that boosts self-confidence. Higher certificate programs also emphasize communication and presentation skills, ensuring confidence in public speaking and interpersonal interactions. And finally, higher certificates encourage critical thinking, empowering individuals to tackle challenges and boosting overall self-confidence. SACAP offers a higher certificate in business management and human resource management. And these two higher certificates are registered with the South African Qualifications Authority, also known as SACA. So let us first look at the higher certificate in business management. The higher certificate in business management is the NQF level 5, 120 credit qualification. Duration of this program is a minimum of 1 year. At SACAP, we have 3 terms in a year. The modules in term 1 are professional communication and digital landscape, followed by introduction to business management and effective functions in organizations. In term 2, the modules are understanding organizational behavior, diversity in the South African context, and principles of economics. Term 3 consists of marketing management, supply chain management, and project management. This program aims to expose students to business management concepts and principles and the various functional areas within a business, such as your HR department, finance, marketing, supply chain, and more. Students also gain introductory knowledge and skills in business, in management principles such as planning, organizing, leading, and control. So when we look at entry-level positions for somebody that has completed a higher certificate in business management, then there is a couple of examples that we have listed. But it is important to note that there are a lot more job opportunities in the market in different industries that we have not even listed here. And upon graduating, you will not only be able to apply your expertise in real-world work settings, but also have the option to specialize in business management or one of a business's functional areas by following another qualification, such as an undergrad degree. Then when we look at the higher certificate in human resource management, this qualification is also on the NQF level 5, 120 credits, and the minimum duration for this program is 1 year. The modules in term 1 is professional communication and digital landscape, introduction to human resource management, and transformation and change in the workplace. In term 2, the modules are understanding organizational behavior, diversity in South African context, and then finally management theories and practice. Term 3 comprises of the business environment, occupational health and safety management, and project management. This program aims to expose students to human resource management concepts and principles, South African labor relations, workplace planning, recruitment, selection, and onboarding, as well as training and development, remuneration, technology, current trends in HR, and project management from an HR perspective. Your entry-level positions. Again, there is a list of entry-level positions, but they are only some examples of what is possible with this qualification in industry. It's also important to note that upon graduation, you will not only have real work experience, but you will also have the ability to register as a higher, as an HR technician through the South African Board of People Practices, or the SABPP. Then we also want to look at the Bachelor of Applied Psychology that SACAP offers. Now, completing any of these higher certificates also allows you to pursue SACAP's Bachelor of Applied Social Science. And this program consists of 3 paths from which you can select one. They are a major in psychology and counseling, psychology and human resource management, or psychology and business management. More information on this program is available on our SACAP website. In summary then, higher certificates provide practical skills and industry-specific knowledge and serve as a catalyst for personal and professional development. By offering accessible entry points into higher education, these certificates empower individuals, boost self-confidence, and pave the way for success in their chosen fields. As the demand for specialized skills grow, higher certificates stand out as invaluable assets in the journey towards a fulfilling and a prosperous career.
Thank you so much, Adéle and Carl. Thank you so much for sharing. Just a reminder to our attendees, if you have any questions, please do pop them into our question and answer box at the bottom of your screen. We will now be heading into our Q&A session. Okay, let's see what we've got here. Okay, we have a question for Carl. Would you please join me on screen? The question says, what is AI in full? I would like to know a bit about that.
Okay. So just in context of the presentation, AI referring to artificial intelligence applications, which is a very broad and very, very technical field. So without going into too much detail about the inner workings of AI, but AI has different applications in the workplace, powering many things. So, you know, Google Maps, for example, uses AI, Spotify recommendations, Netflix recommendations, and it's also capable of analyzing large amounts of data. So just in reference to, within context of the presentation, these are applications that are impacting the workplace and are able to streamline and automate a lot of functions, necessitating us to consistently evolve our own skill sets of adaptability and those soft skills, and developing those soft skills within us that machines are not capable of.
Thank you, Carl. Okay, we do have a question here for Adéle. If you could please join me on screen. Angelique would like to know, would one qualify for RPL should you do a higher certificate in one certificate and then apply for the other the following year or two?
Okay, so maybe we just need to clarify that RPL in higher education means that you don't necessarily have the qualifications to enter into a higher certificate, but you have the work experience, and based on that, you are let into a program. But what I can gather from the question that's asked, you are really more looking at the accumulation of credits, which is also called CAT, or in some cases, universities refer to it as exemption from a module. So if you want to do the higher certificate in business management, and you have done some modules in that qualification, and you then want to, after completing it, move over into the higher certificate of HR the following year, then you're more than welcome to do that. And SACAP will obviously give you credits because you have already completed some of the modules.
Thank you, Adéle, for that. Much appreciated, and I hope that that did answer the question. Please let us know if you need any more clarity on that. Okay, we have a question for Adéle from Stephanie. Having done my diploma in counseling and communication and BAP SOCSI, both with SACAP, would I need to do diversity in the South African context again if I did either higher certificate?
No, you wouldn't need to. You would again just apply for exemption when you register for one of the higher certificates, and obviously hand in your qualification that you've completed, or your transcript to show that you've completed it. But in the case of SACAP, it should be already on the system, so it should not be a problem for them to identify that you've already done that module. So no, you will definitely be exempted from it to do it again.
Thank you so much, Adéle. And we've just got a response from Angelique, the previous question, that says that she completely understands and appreciates the clarity. Okay, we've got a question for Carl. Would you please join me on screen? The question reads, is there a general age group for entry, or can it be over 35 years old?
So yes, if I'm understanding the question correctly, or if the person asking the question is saying if they are over the age of 35, yes, they can apply for the programs. You just have to obviously be of the age of 18, usually within higher education context, but I mean essentially any age group can apply for the programs.
Thank you, Carl. I have a question for Adéle. What are the minimum entry requirements for the higher certificates?
Our higher certificates, you need to have passed grade 12, and you need to have 45% in English. It doesn't matter if it's a first additional language or it's your home language, as long as you've obtained 45% in English.
Thank you so much, Adéle. So we have another question. So can we also study the higher certificates online?
Yes, Carl should have actually answered this, because he's very hard at work at making the online platform very innovative. But yes, we have online, so we have campus-based, but also online studies. And you will use obviously our student portal, which is called My SACAP to study. Yeah, and as I say, Carl and his team are very busy putting together a phenomenal experience on this platform.
Carl, would you be so kind as to maybe elaborate on this process? Maybe just give us a few tidbits of interest.
Yeah, so we are developing these two higher certificates to be offered online, fully online in a very very much a self-directed learning environment. And we aim for it to be a very active and a very practical learning experience. We don't want students to just sit and consume content and consume knowledge. We're creating a platform for students to be actively engaging and applying what they can use. So every week you'll be consistently working on different tasks and assessments throughout the 10 weeks of the module. And that is designed to keep you engaged and to spread out the workload as well, to reduce stress.
That sounds fantastic, actually, Carl. I wish you all the best with that. I know it's going to be amazing. Adéle, would you please join me on screen? We have a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a higher certificate in psychology?
Okay. No, we don't. I doubt if you will find one anyway. Psychology as a career is very regulated by the professional body. And they stipulate exactly what type of qualifications an institution can apply for and offer. And we as SACAP have a couple of qualifications in psychology, but we had to first get approval from the board before we could even apply to the Council on Higher Education for those programs. And to my knowledge, the council does not recognize a higher certificate in psychology at all.
Thank you. Okay, Carl, we have a question for you. The question reads, I've completed my honors in psychology in 2022. If I were to complete a higher certificate in human resource management, would these two complement one another? And would there be any benefits to having both of these?
Yes, I do think they would complement each other, and based on your career goals, if you are looking to pursue a career or in human resources, it's then yes, definitely. I think an honors in psychology has obviously equipped you with a deep theoretical understanding in psychology and social sciences, as well as research methodology. And I think then the skills that you'll gain through the HRM higher certificate will hone in more on the specifics of human resource management. So I do think it would give you a very competitive edge in the job market, having the two in conjunction if you're going into an HR related field.
Thank you so much, Carl. Adele, we do have a question here for you. Stephanie says, I am an educator and my aim is to start applying for HOD, head of department positions. Which higher certificate would you recommend?
Considering that you want to move and you obviously want to stay in education and you want to move up, I would say the higher certificate in human resource management, because this will give you an opportunity to learn how to manage people. It will also expose you to the relationship between the employer and the employee. You will learn about the development of those people, and how to recruit other educators, how to induct them and onboard them. So I think in this case, I would go with a higher certificate in human resource management.
Thank you so much, Adele. We have a question that reads, can I study counseling and communication for higher certificate with a matric from 2004?
The answer is definitely yes. So if you go to our website just to check the entry requirements for the counseling and communication, I'm not sure if it's the same as for the business management and the HR, but as long as you have passed matric and you are capable of reading, writing, and speaking English, then you are more than welcome to apply for that program.
Thank you so much, Adele. And we wish the attendee luck with that application and study journey. Okay, we have another question for Carl over here. It reads, if one opted to study on campus, is the higher certificate in HR offered in the evenings?
No, the answer is no. The higher certificates in HRM and BM are only offered online at the moment with the stage.
Thank you so much, Carl. Okay, let's give it another second or two. Okay, we've got another question for Carl from Angelique. She would like to know if there is only one intake per year for the higher certificates.
Yes, at this stage, for again both the the HRM and the BM, there is only one intake per year. Our higher certificates in counseling and communication has multiple intakes, but the HRM and the BM only have one intake at the beginning of the year.
Okay. Let's see if anything else comes through. Are there exams at the end of the higher certificates?
No, there won't be any examination components in the higher certificates because we are designing the assessments in the program to be very practical and application-based, authentic, to help you apply your knowledge in real-world scenarios.
Perfect. Okay, we've got another question over here. For Carl, would one need to complete any hours of practical experience in an organization or company?
In the higher certificates, no, you won't need to complete any workplace or fieldwork experience.
Thank you, Carl. Stephanie, I hope that answered your question. Okay, we've got a question for Adéle. Could you please join me on screen? The question reads, hi, the classes for the HR online, do they start in the middle of the year? Adéle, would you like to answer?
Thanks. Yes. Like Carla said, the higher certificate in HR and the higher certificate in business management, they kick off at the beginning of the year now in term 1, but we don't have any other enrollments for them during the year. So the answer is no, there won't be any classes that start in the middle of the year.
Thank you so much, Adéle. Okay, I think we've come to the end of our live Q&A session. But if we did not answer your questions, or if you'd like us the team to contact you, please do leave your email address and query in the chat box, and our admissions team will get into contact with you as soon as possible. Please do follow us on our various social media channels to stay up to date on upcoming events, program launches and updates, and to see the recording to this webinar. Thank you once again to our brilliant speakers and to our attendees for joining us this evening. We are sharing a couple of links in the chat box right now, and we hope you have a wonderful evening further. Thank you.